welcome, friends and honoured guests. On this Hallows Eve, I would like to tell you a tale. A tale of the first Japanese ghost story to reach western shores. I bring to you the tale of the Futon of Tottori. Long ago, one winter's night, a small inn opens in Tottori. The inn is newly built, with an owner who is not too wealthy, and it was furnished entirely with items previously owned by someone else, from the pillows guests slept on to the chopsticks they would use to eat their meals. To us today, it might seem a strange practice, but back then, it was quite a common affair. His first guest, a travelling merchant, arrived to much fanfare. There was much merriment, sake drinking, and great food. That night the merchant went to bed. But as he slept, he kept hearing children's voices. He'd hear a younger voice go, "Are you cold, brother?" An older voice would reply, "No, but you are, right?" On and on, the same words, over and over again, would be repeated. At first, the merchant assumed that the innkeeper had kids, and thus put up with it for a while. But after a while, he raised his voice, telling the kids to knock it off. But even after he did so, the voices still continued. Finally deciding he had enough, the merchant rushed to the innkeeper's bedchambers and demanded that he pay his tab in full and leave. Admittedly, the innkeeper was frustrated and tried to reason with the merchant to stay, but the merchant would have none of it. And again, when the second guest arrived, same thing happened. He heard the voices and asked to leave. Puzzled, he decided to sleep in those said bedsheets, and heard the voices. "Are you cold, brother?" "No, but you are, aren't you?" After that night, he rushed to the pawnbroker he bought the futon from, demanding to know where it came from. He said he bought it from another pawnbroker. And on he went from pawnbroker to pawnbroker, demanding to know where the futon had come from. Until, at last, he met a pawnbroker who originally bought the futon. And that, my friends, is another sadder tale. The original owners of this futon was a poor family who'd recently moved to the area looking for work. A mother, father, and 2 boys. The father died unexpectedly, soon followed by the mother, leaving the 2 orphan brothers alone in a cold winter's night. They struggled to get by, selling their meagre possessions one by one, just as their parents had. Until all they had was their futon, and they gathered under it for warmth. Their landlord was a brutal man, who tossed them out on their ears when they couldn't pay their rent. a snowstorm appeared, and the two boys perished. Upon learning of this tale, the innkeeper took the quilt to the temple where the boys were buried. They prayed for their souls, and the voices stopped. And thus comes an end to the tale. It shows that every item has a story, and not all those stories are happy ones. And thus we've come to the end of our time. I bid you all a good night and pleasant dreams.